Hello there, ReviewTechUSA here. And boy have I got a treat for you today. Rich Dad has been up to his old tricks again. Enough talk. Let's get into this. So Rich made a video titled, An MMO Noob Plays Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn, and likes it. I have multiple issues with this video. Number 1. Rich is only playing this game because Square Enix are paying him to play it and review it. Warning, exposure, overload, imminent.
Square Enix came up to me and asked me to play Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn and discuss my gameplay experience. And I went to them and said, okay, that's great. And to be honest with you, I'm glad they did because I spent a lot of time with this game and I really enjoyed it. I have to say, I really enjoyed playing an MMO. I never, ever thought I would say that.
Well, I've talked about Square Enix before, and they've been in sorry shape for a while. And the fact that they wanted Tomb Raider to move 6 million units and were disappointed that it only sold 4.5 million units, I use the word only sarcastically because selling 4.5 million units of a game in a month is pretty damn impressive. There's something wrong with their business model, and they're trying to figure out what it is. Maybe because they've made a bunch of crappy Final Fantasy games that no one cares about.
Now, I know there is a huge, rich storyline to the Final Fantasy series, so if I mess up any names, I do apologize. Once you learn how to use the map, you realize it's actually very intuitive and it's easy to get where you need to go to. Also, too, you could fast travel with the aetheryte crystals. But at the same time, I was playing this game and I thought it looked gorgeous. I love how you go from day to night and there'll be, rain that comes and there'll be a thunderstorm and you'll see the lightning, not hear the lightning. You'll see the lightning first and then you'll hear the thunder. The vistas are gorgeous. Everything looks different.
Come on! Even they're robust games, the Final Fantasy titles. I understand there's a lot of gameplay in there and you're getting a lot of bang for the buck, but maybe like $9.99 at the absolute most. Realistically, maybe like $6, but $15 and $20 because you're Square Enix and you think your name is going to make people buy your games? Oh man, you don't get it.
Every world you go to, every part of the world, I should say, that you go to looks different and it looks beautiful. I think it really, even though I hear they quote unquote downgraded the graphics, I thought it was stunning and it ran great. I have a high-end gaming rig, admittedly. I have a Titan X and Intel Core i7 5960X, but I know that there were people playing this game on an Alienware Alpha, which has the equivalent of a GTX 860M, and they said it ran great on there as well. So you don't have to have a beefy rig to run Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn, so you don't have to worry about that. So you don't have to have super powerful hardware, and it still looks fantastic, this game.
According to the Square Enix CEO, the Final Fantasy brand is greatly damaged. I think it's safe to say that falls under the no shit category. When Final Fantasy XIV Online launched on the PC last year, it did so to heaping critical scorn. So much so that within months, Square Enix ousted the game's management team.
But here in Final Fantasy XIV, I had fun. I never felt like I was doing nothing. I always felt in control of the battles. Like, for example, you'll have an enemy and they have a special attack. And when they have this special attack, you'll see like a square, an orange square where you're standing come up. And if you run out of that orange square, you won't get hit by their attack. And you could do that in real time. You could move around like you're almost playing a platformer. And that's the stuff that made me enjoy playing this game because I never felt like I was just playing a straight up MMORPG.
It seems that almost every Japanese developer, save Capcom, has lost their touch. It almost seems like the Japanese developers just can't wrap their minds around the other cultures and what they want and demand in video games, and they try too hard to be different, and the outcome is games like Final Fantasy XIII, Final Fantasy XIV, and the other garbage they come out with.
Came out in 1997, and Square hasn't, that was like their pinnacle, and they've gone downhill since. I know I've said this on and on,
but I was never bored. I had a lot of fun. I found it challenging without being overbearing or intimidating. I can easily say that within 5 minutes of being in battles that I knew the combat system enough that I could hold my own. So it was really interesting. It was all about strategy, and it was really refreshing playing this game. It was something totally different than what I'm used to. You guys know I'm a big first-person shooter guy and platformer, Castlevania, things like that. And to step out of my safety bubble of those genres of games and play something totally different like this was a lot of fun. I'm really engrossed in the Final Fantasy world, and even if you're not an MMO guy like I was not, I suggest you give this game a chance. I think you'll really enjoy it. So huge shout out to Square Enix for giving me an opportunity to play this game, and I think they have something awesome on their hands, and now I can see why this game has been praised by so many people.
PlayStation 4, screw you, Square Enix. That is such a slap in the face to fans of the game, and you're just hoping because of the Final Fantasy VII name that people will just blindly go out there and buy it in droves, and I hope that people don't. You know, I'm not a Final Fantasy fan, so even if they did remake the game, I probably still wouldn't buy it. But I hope people don't. I hope even diehard fans don't buy the game again for the PlayStation 4, because that just bullshit. And you really just like slapped all the Final Fantasy fans across the face with just dumping that game on the PlayStation 4 console.
As you can see, Rich has shit on Square Enix in the past and actually shit on this game before Square Enix started paying him. This is a perfect example of how money talks. Rich is a slave to the dollar and he has zero credibility. Issue number 2. Rich said literally nothing bad about this game. Everything he said in this review was positive. Clearly no game is without its flaws, but because Square Enix was giving Rich money, Rich said only good things about this flawed game. For example, Rich could have easily criticized the business model. You pay up front for the game, then pay a monthly subscription fee, making it an extremely expensive game. But no. Rich didn't mention how this game is bought and paid for even once.
When I get pissed off, and this is something I've never done, is when YouTubers hide who's sponsoring them, or they take money to give a game a good review. Or they take money to give a game a good review. Or they take money to give a game a good review.
See for yourself. Rich only praises this game. If you are paid to review a game, you must still be honest with your viewers. Rich clearly isn't being honest here and traded his integrity for a few $100. So my main issue with this video is that it is illegal. Yes, you heard right. Illegal. If you are paid to promote a video game on YouTube, you must provide proper disclosure. According to the Federal Trade Commission, putting a small message in the description or in the comment section isn't classified as proper disclosure. Rich should have verbally said in the video, I asked the FTC directly, if I upload a video to YouTube and that video requires a disclosure, can I just put the disclosure in the description that I upload, together with the video? Here is the response I got from the Federal Trade Commission.
No, because it's easy for consumers to miss disclosures in the video description. Many people might watch the video without even seeing the description page. And those who do might not read the disclosure. The disclosure has the most chance of being effective if it is made clearly and prominently in the video itself.
So Rich has clearly breached the FTC's endorsement guidelines and he has purposely attempted to deceive his audience. The question is, what should we do? Well, first you can flag Rich's video for failing to provide proper disclosure. Second, you can file a complaint at ftccomplaintassistant.gov and follow the steps. And last, you can file a complaint to the US Small Business Administration Ombudsman. Links in the description. Thanks for watching and keep exposing.
But my take on it is this. If you're honest with your subscribers and let them know you're being sponsored, that's fine. But if you take money to review a game and give it a glowing review and you're lying, I don't think you should take money for a review no matter what. If they want to pay you to give a good review, don't do it. Because first of all, it's suicide on here. If you're looking to build a channel and people find out you're lying about a game because you just got a few bucks from a developer to say it's good, if that ever gets found out, your channel's screwed. So why would you do it? So just stay away from that shit. So the bottom line is,
If you let people know you're being sponsored by something, I have no problem with it. But if you're basically taking a bribe to give a game a good review so the developer and publisher could get more sales, and you're being paid for an opinion, you're an asshole and you should quit right now.